So, hi, and welcome to today's session about social media do's and don'ts. A lot of people are actually working with social media and feeling a bit even overwhelmed and not sure what to do. And they just do things because others are saying do that or do certain things, or they think that that's what others are doing, but it's not always the case. And that's why I felt like it's very important to speak about some do's and don'ts with social media because the purpose is eventually it's one of our biggest tools today to build our brand, and we want to use it the right way. We want to actually use it in a way that social media works for us and not the other way around. So for me, if I can be, for example, active on more than 14 social media platforms, it is because I have a system to work with social media and to get social media eventually to work for me. So I'm gonna, for those who don't know me again, like I'm Dana. I'm actually from Israel, relocated to South Africa 8 years ago. I come from marketing. I used to work for corporate, and that's why you're gonna see that the way that I speak about social media is from a different point of view. It's more from the place of how you can actually use it to build your brand. So I'm gonna start with the first don't. Okay, so the first tone is about that you cannot be everything to everyone. It doesn't work like this with our business and in general, not only on social media. And the thing is that what happens that when you work with social media, you're kind of thinking, okay, that means that I can reach out to so many people now because I've got that option. But does it mean that it's really right for you, that this is the right way to do it? So no, it's not a good thing. We cannot be everything to everyone. We really need to focus on a specific niche to really niche ourselves down. I always give an example for a company like, let's say, like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, when they started, they didn't try to be everything to everyone, right? They had one brand that was for a specific target audience. And when they started building their like their card and having money and building the brand, then they added more brands like Coke Light, Coke Zero, Fanta, whatever it is. Okay. And that's what we want to do. So we cannot reach out to everyone. We really want to focus and niche it down because we want to get to know our audience. We want to know who they are, where they spend their time, what's important for them. And this is also super important because once you know your audiences, you know where to find them, how to engage with them, and when to engage with them. But if we're trying to be everything to everyone, it's what I call it that you throw the spaghetti on the wall, whatever sticks, sticks, whatever falls, falls. And this is not how we can actually build a strong brand. So we really want to learn as much as we can about our audience, to learn about their challenges, their pain points, their struggles. Because once we know that part, we can actually start focusing on the problem that they experience and through that to build connections with them, to build relationship with them, because we do want to speak about the problem and not on the solution. And especially also we want to touch it from the side that we want to learn about our audience, their pain points, because we want to learn what type of emotions, okay, should we trigger. Because even in the past, people used to first think, then act, and then they have a type of an emotion, which means I know something is broken. I know I need to buy it. There's a logic to it. Then I go act, and then I start to have a type of an emotion around it. Like I'm excited, I'm disappointed, I'm happy, all the different range of emotions. But today, in the new marketing, which is like more than 10 years now, it's more about the emotional side, okay? It's easy to see it with moms, right? They always try to make her feel guilt. Are you a good mom? Are you doing the best as you can? And through that, she goes buying the product and then have like a thinking like, okay, was it or was it not the right decision? And that is why we want to know who's our audience. We want to learn as much as we can about them. And we want to focus on specific one because not everyone, even with me trying to reach out to people that's struggling with social media, it doesn't mean that I want everyone to struggle because everyone do it from different type of emotions that have different triggers. So you want to actually focus on that, and you want to find those who actually share similar values to you because you want to resonate with them and they want to resonate with you. So you both need to be resonating with each other and actually closing the gap. Okay, if this is you, this is your audience. You don't want it to be like this or like this. You want it kind of to be equal. And that is why it's very important when we work with social media and in general to find a specific niche to focus on and to work with. The second don't, let me add. Okay, the second don't is actually not to join all social media platforms or not to join platforms just because they're popular. We want to make sure that we choosing the right platform for us. Even for me, when I started working with social media, I started with Facebook. Only when I figured out how Facebook works the best way for me and if it's right for me or not, then I moved to Instagram, and then I moved to YouTube and to Pinterest and to other platforms. So if I'll go to the first don't, when I spoke about you cannot be everything to everyone and that you need to focus on a specific niche, that's again with a social media platform. We cannot just be there. It doesn't mean that all of them are actually right for us, right for our business, right for our brand. We want to be where our audience spend their time in. And that's where the part where you also want to separate between the platforms that your audience spend time in just for their like personal life, you know, like some people will be on TikTok and they just enjoy scrolling like for, I don't know, for puppies and like, I don't know, like funny dancing and things like that, but they don't really look for information regarding their business. Okay, so we want to find those platforms where our audience spend their time, where we can actually connect and engage with them. And as I said, you want to find those platforms and just start even with one. I know we have that tendency like to actually jump and do like, okay, so now TikTok is very trendy, I'll join maybe TikTok, or Instagram was very trendy, so I'll join. You want to actually understand where your audience is active, which one of those platforms actually going to package the best your message. And when I say package the best, is also something that's right for you. If you don't like creating videos, so why be on TikTok? Why force yourself to be on a platform that you're not going to be fully authentic because you don't feel comfortable to be there? Okay. So you also, for example, want to choose platforms that, let's say if I need to demonstrate about a product that I use. So a video is a better platform for me to use, like something with a video, because then I can demonstrate and I create something. If there's long posts, short posts, all of this is part of it. So we don't want to be in a platform just because it's there or just because it's popular or just because we're trying to reach out everywhere and put our message out there. Okay, we want to be very specific. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes for a lot of businesses that they do is because of the variety we have today, all the different options, we just say, okay, let's just do it. Let's just try and, as I said, like you throw the spaghetti on the wall, whatever sticks, sticks, whatever falls, falls. It doesn't work like this. If you want to build something that's going to be here for the long run, you really need to focus on niching down your audience, your message, your platforms, okay? And as I said, like you started to use even like a platform, just check it after. See if it's working for you or not. And if it's not working, is it because it's not the right platform or because I'm not using it the right way? So there's different reasons for that. But you want to check it. You want to, like, that's the thing in marketing. One of the biggest secret in marketing is not that you follow like a specific formula. It's actually you all the time checking, you all the time testing and seeing what's working, what's not, and why, and analyzing. It's actually in marketing, you actually touch lots of numbers because you're trying to have a better understanding and to do that drill down. As well, don't give up so quickly. You decided to choose a platform and it's not working. So be consistent before you make an admin decision. Be consistent and keep on checking your insight. See who's the audience you're attracting. Are they the right audiences or not? And then start figuring out what's the reason for why they're there and why they're not, and why they're engaging and why not, and what triggers them. The third one on the do's and don'ts is that you need to start focusing on growing your followers. I know a lot of people are trying to teach you how to get more followers, how to get more subscribers. But the thing is that you don't want to actually just try, as I said in the beginning, to reach out to everyone. You want to be very specific. Okay. You want to focus on getting to know your existing followers. You want to focus on building relationship with them, building a community for that. Okay. So more followers doesn't mean that you're going to get better, more engagement, that people are going to like more, share more, save more, and all of this. More followers doesn't mean that you're going to get more leads. There's a nice quote saying you want to have 100 people that love what you do versus have 10,000 people that kind of like it. Because the kind of like it, you won't be able to convert them from followers to actual clients. And we want to use the platform as a place for us to generate leads. But we cannot generate leads of people that are not really interested in what we do. They just maybe liked one of our stuff, or just because we did the follow for follow thing that a lot of people are doing. Even when you do the follow for follow, I always say to people, and you want to choose those that you're really interested in their account. Because if I'm not interested in what you do, then it means that I'm not going to engage with you. By me not engaging, I'm showing the algorithm that there's nothing interesting here. Okay. So I'm actually reducing the exposure of that account. So you basically, instead of helping them by adding another follow, you're actually doing the other way around. You damaging it because you're like a dead account there that do nothing, which showing, okay, so it's clearly something is not working there. You want to focus more on the reaching out to the right audience to get them. As I said, like you cannot be everything to everyone. This is it. You want to choose the right people, the people that eventually going to resonate with you, the same as you resonate with them. Those people that you can eventually build relationship with, gain their trust, and get them to get your product or service. So you want to focus on getting those right people. And again, you want to focus on building a community. That's the one of the most beautiful things that you have in social media. And that's what actually people are looking for. I think especially like during COVID, a lot of people realize that they want to be part of something. They want to belong to something. They want to feel comfortable to ask questions, to be themselves, to do things, that this is a safe place for them. And the same as you want that, your audience also want it. So you want to actually get the quality over the quantity. You want to focus on bringing the right people with the right content, build a community for them, give them a safe place, a place that they can come and ask questions. Doesn't matter if it's like a stupid question or a question like that, I don't know, like that they don't feel comfortable. You want to give them that option. And you want, as I said, to build relationship. Because by building a relationship, you're gaining trust. If you gain trust, it's mean that they're going to be your best brand ambassadors and they're going to be loyal to your brand. And this is how you're going to grow your business. And this is how you're going to build a strong brand. This is what all the big corporates are doing. They based on building relationship, even if it's just the B2B market, right? The business to business, when they have relationship with the different stakeholders in the different like industries, that's what they do. They build those relationships, gain their trust, and that's how they grow. It goes the same for social media. So it's not about the quantity, about the getting more followers. It's about, even if I have now 100 followers, how can I get to know them? How can I build relationship with them? Because I want to get from that 100 followers, I want to get at least like a 50% like success rate, instead of having like 10,000 followers and I maybe know like 5 or 6 out of them, and there's a low chance that I can actually close a deal with one of them. Another don't is the stop chasing after the likes. I know we love it and it's nice to see it, but it's so easy to get the like. People watch their phone, they see so much content and they just like, just because it looked nice, because of whatever. It doesn't mean that they really read what you wrote there. It doesn't mean that they really watch it all. It's just been nice. And as I always say, likes don't pay the bills. So you want to focus on actually getting more shares, more saves, more comments, more website clicks, more any type of other call to action. Because if I did one of those things here, there's a better chance of me becoming your client, buying your product. But if I just liked it, it doesn't mean that I read it or I took a look at this. It means that I was active. Okay, so you have all the time, there's different type of people that will look at your content. There's those who are just gonna like it. There's those who are not gonna give you any type of reaction. And there's those who are going to be very active by commenting, sharing, saving, clicking, doing something. The one who doing the likes, those are the one at the bottom that with a lower chance, right, for them coming and reaching out to you, because it's an automatic like movement we have with our finger. I'm not saying that they're not going to reach out to you, but there's not a higher chance versus those who actually being more active and liking and sharing and doing those things. As well, like those who are not reacting, it doesn't mean that, you know, they're not going to be interested. They're divided to two, to those who are not interested and to those that are interested, but maybe are introvert or maybe not ready to comment. I actually had the other day a conversation with someone that came and asked me if I can give a speech in a conference she's creating, and apparently she's following my stuff but not really even listening, like commenting or anything. So it's very important for that. Another one is to constantly creating content with direct sell, and then I see with a lot of businesses that that's what they do. They do direct sales. They're trying to sell, especially you see it on platforms like LinkedIn, right? That you are entering your profile and then you see a new connection, and once you approve that connection, you get a message with a direct sell. People don't like direct sales, okay? People don't really like it, and that's why you want to focus on creating content that actually helps you to build a relationship. Because as I said, this is the purpose of us using social media. This is the best way for us to grow a brand, to build our brand, to focus on the right thing, focus on those that actually help us to really build something strong, build something that's going to be here for the long run. We don't just want to build something that's going to start today and tomorrow. Building a brand, it's an ongoing project. It's something we constantly work on. It's something that it's like for years. It's an ongoing thing. And the best way to do it is by actually focusing on building relationship. Because building relationship means building trust. And as I said, building trust means they're going to be loyal to you, loyal to your brand, and your best brand ambassadors. And that's how you're going to get more referrals. So you want to build a strong brand. You want to create something that a content like that actually improves engagement. And to do that, you really want to focus on listening to your audience, to listen to what they're saying. They're going to tell you in the inside what type of content works for them and what type of content doesn't work for them, what they find as valuable and helpful and what not so much. And they will engage with you. And some maybe will be shy and won't send you a private like a one like comment, but they will either save it, share it, check your website, maybe click to watch your video, maybe send you a private message. And that's what we're trying to do. And we want to focus on creating content that it's not about a direct sell. It's about positioning ourselves where we want to be. So for example, if we want to position ourselves as experts in what we do, this is what we need to focus on, creating content that help us to position to ourselves as the experts, that we share the tips and the tricks, we share stories, inspirational stories, we educate them. There's different like content strategies that we can use for this. As well, we want to use content that allow our audience to get to know us. That's the personal connection. Because people buy from people, and people buy from people they've built relationship with, that they have a connection with. If I haven't built a connection with you, so there's nothing there, then I'll skip to a different account. And there's so many accounts out there. And in order for you to stand out, it's not by necessarily doing the big things. It's by making sure that you're focusing on your audience. And it's by making sure that you are focusing on building those relationships, getting to know them. I know that I for sure love it that I create content and I know the people who commenting and I know they feel comfortable and they'll comment on the different social media platforms, and we'll build that relationship, we'll build that connection. So you want to also create a content that focus on the problem and not on the solution. Because as I said, for example, in the beginning, because we cannot be everything to everyone, that's the first big don't. We want to focus on a specific niche. We want to focus on an audience that we know what they experience, what is the problem, challenge, struggle, pain point that they experience that we can actually speak about, and through that create a connection. If I'll come speak directly on the solution, you're not going to get much of the results, okay? Because that will become a direct sell, and people don't like direct sell. It's not like in the past, let's say in the 50s, 60s, but people will come and knock on your door and offer you to buy from them like makeup or a vacuum cleaner or stuff like this. People don't like it. I first want to get to know you. There are so many out there. So why for me to choose you? Why for me to choose you versus someone else? And for me to choose you, I want to get to know you. I want to also get to know you as a person, a bit about you, to know that it's not a scam as well. I want to know that you actually understand me, that we speak the same language, okay? And for that, you want to focus on the problem, because if I'll speak on the solution, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's like a direct sell. But if I'll speak about why you experience this, how does it make you feel, how all of this, and as I said in the beginning, you want to understand what is the type of emotion, right? That there is a trigger there, okay, that you can touch. Because as I said, when you create content, it's all about creating an emotional connection. Okay, people first, now, if, as I said, like in the beginning, if we used to first think and then act and then feel, now we first feel. It's all around this. Even if you watch commercials on TV, it's all around that. So when you speak, for example, on social media, a lot of people have type of feelings of feeling overwhelmed, not sure what to do, feeling lost. It's all about of a different type of feelings, right? And if I'll touch those feelings when I create my content, then I'll start going to build that relationship. And as I said, through that, you build trust. And through that, you're eventually going to build a strong brand. And that's our purpose. So when I speak and teach about social media, that's the mindset that I want people to change. It's not about getting to followers. So if I'll go back again to some of them, it's not about focusing on like the views and the likes, which are nice and good to see, but that likes don't pay the bills. We want to use content that actually help us to convert, okay, our followers into actual clients. We want to improve that engagement. We want to get the more saves, more shares, more comments, more website clicks. We also don't want to focus on just growing our followers. We want to build relationship. We want to build a community for our audience. We want to build that connection with them. Because as I said, you prefer to have 100 people that love what you do, love your content, versus having 10,000 people that kind of like it. With the kinda, you cannot pay your bills. You cannot, do all of that. You want to focus on creating connection with your existing followers. Quality, I do believe it is the quality over quantity, because the quality content will bring you eventually the quantity, but not just quantity, the right quantity. And that's what we want to focus on. That's what we want to be in. Okay, so when you're creating, you want to make sure that you're following things and you're doing them the right way and focusing on that foundation, and you being constantly creating content that is actually focusing on building those relationships. Another one, I think it's even the last one, it's about not to post and disappear for days or until the next post. Okay, we have the tendency to like post and then disappear and maybe enter at the end of the day or a few days after, and then start like, oh, they comment and not even comment back, or like, just post and I had a crazy week and I didn't post anymore. I actually recorded today a podcast episode about like how often you should actually post your content. And one of the things I actually saying there is that there's no right or wrong. There is about what's right for you, for your brand, for your audience. Okay. And also by understanding the different platforms. So if I'll post today on YouTube, I don't need to post there and be there every day now and every week. But I do want to make sure that if people comment on my videos, that I'm there to respond back. Okay. And if I've been on Instagram, for example, Instagram is a platform that, because of the shelf life that the content have there, because post is between 24 to 72 hours, stories 24 hours, although you can put it in the highlights. and Reels is 2 weeks. But although there's the 2 weeks, but if I'll be disappearing now for a week or 2 weeks, they want to remember me. And as I said, there's so much content out there, so many different profiles like me. There's so many other people that are actually teaching social media, speaking about social media and brand building. But if I'm not going to be there and build a relationship with my audience, if I'm not going to be consistent and connect with them and engage with them and build those relationship with them, they will forget about me. I won't be in top of mind. And that's what you want to do. You want to be in top of mind. You want to be consistent with the type of content that you share. Okay, so if you're speaking on a specific key message or touching a specific problem, you want your content to be consistent around this. I won't be speaking today about social media, and tomorrow you're going to hear me sharing some tips about give you some cooking recipes, right? I'll be consistent with the type of content that I create. Also, like, you want to be there and answer the questions. It's not like a hit or run, right? You there, you answering. You can even enter other people's from your industry post and respond there and build relationship with there, and from there bring even more like new relevant followers. You want to engage and build this relationship with them. This will also going to help you to increase exposure with the algorithm, with your audience, because what happened is, by being consistent, okay, with the type of content and with your appearance, first, your audience is learning about you, and they know that they can trust you and they understand the type of content you share there. As well, the algorithm see you're there and they're learning the behavior as well. And they will understand, okay, those are the type of people that this account is, attracting. Those are the people that are responding. And understand that there's a certain flow there and a certain movement. And then they know which one to actually introduce, like which other potential followers to introduce to you. So it is a top of a cycle. So it's very important, because consistency is crucial when you're building a brand on social media. And being consistent, it doesn't mean that you need to post, as I said, like on a daily basis. It means that you need to maintain a certain online presence. Okay. So for example, on Instagram, I think you can post between 2 to 4. I think 2 is the minimum, and I would aim more to the 3 to 4. Facebook, for example, to be consistent means that it's really depend. Are you active on groups? Are you managing a group? On your profile, you want to be there. You want to make sure that you're there. So if you're managing a community or being active in groups, you can be active on a daily basis. But if it's just to promote your stuff, you don't also want to have it too much. Okay, because when it's too much, it goes back to the don't have a direct sell. Also, you don't want to be exhausted, right? Like thinking all the time about what else can I create? What else can I do for that? So if I'll go back again and I'll just try to sum it all up quickly. You cannot be everything to everyone. You really need to focus on a specific niche, okay? It's not how many followers you have, it's the quality of the followers. It's to make sure that you have the right audience, the audience that you can actually communicate with, engage with, that you both resonate with each other. Because if you both resonate with each other, right, you can connect, you can build relationship. By building relationship, you're building trust. Building trust, they're going to be loyal to your brand and your best brand ambassadors. It's not a matter of the likes, because likes don't pay the bills. It's not a matter of direct sell. You want to create content on social media that really helps you to improve engagement, and through that to increase exposure, and through that eventually to convert those followers into actual clients. Because let's be honest, we are there on social media not just to watch those TikToks. We're there to actually generate leads out of it. And to generate leads, we need to be very accurate. It's like when you go even to a surgery, right? It's not that they're going to open the entire body now just to operate you to fix something. They will be very specific. That's why with today technology, it's even very, very, very specific with the different tools they use. And that's the same as we want to do. That's what the corporates are doing. That's the biggest difference, that they actually have different teams to divide and split the job between them. But we, as like one man show most of the time, we really need to be focusing on something specific. Once we've done that, The same as I said about the platform. It's not about being in all the different platforms just because they're there and just because they're popular. It's to be very accurate. That's what I've done with my business. As I said, I started it one by one. Only when I figured out each and every one of them and how to make the most out of each and every one of them and how to get them to work for me, that's why I enter another one. So this way I've developed my own little system for myself that today I can have a podcast, be on YouTube, be on Pinterest, LinkedIn, Facebook, manage communities there, Instagram, Tumblr, and of course more platforms. The reason why I can do it and still have a life is because I follow this rule. I'm being very strategic, very working with tactics, one by one, and I'm being very consistent. And I'm not gonna say that all the time I feel like posting and all the time all the time I have like free time to create and do. Like now I was traveling for 2 weeks and I wasn't being very active but I was making sure that I'm working strategically and I knew exactly where to post, when to post, and what to post in order to make it look like that I'm still active all the time. And by the way, before I'm going to open it to questions, I do want to mention that every second week I'm going to do different sessions like this. And they're going to be like in case you missed it or you missed part of it, you want to watch it again. It's also going to be on my YouTube channel. So